It is Lorwyn Eclipse pre-release weekend and the secondary market is on fire. Get the details here in part 1 of this giant-sized 2-part episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. This video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now, you can pre-order Lorwyn Eclipse products there, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or find a vast number of other great items on their website. Remember, shipping is free in the US if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles. Just look in the description or comment section below for direct links to their site. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. As I said in the cold open, Lorwyn Eclipse pre-release weekend is here, and the new set is causing price spikes all over the secondary market. So much so that we're going to look at the top 3 coldest cards and the top 30 hottest cards of the week. In this part, we'll see all the cold cards and the first 15 hot cards, then we'll be back tomorrow to look at the top 15 hottest cards overall. As always, our lists are based on 2 pieces of criteria: the percentage change in the value of the cards, as well as the change in the number of sales from week to week. Quickly before we get started though, just a couple things. First off, I do want to say thank you to one of the viewers who gave a super thanks tip last week. That is Swampy Boy. Swampy Boy, thank you so much for all your support. Hope you're feeling better, and again, I certainly appreciate all the generous tips you've given the channel. I also want to say thank you to one of our silver patrons, and that is Tardy. Summer, thank you for all your support on Patreon. It goes a really long way. I couldn't do this without viewers like yourself for sure, so thank you very much. And now, without any further ado, let's get into it. We'll begin with the top 3 coldest cards of the week. Now, there aren't a lot of cold cards worth discussing this week, but there are 3 sliding down enough to matter, so let's see what they are. Remaining at number 3 for the second week in a row, the Scorpion God from Hour of Devastation. This is down 208 to 430 for a 33% decrease. A few weeks back, we learned through card previews that -1/-1 counters would play a large role in Lorwyn Eclipse, so the Scorpion God was moving up. Then we found out the card was getting reprinted in the Lorwyn Eclipse Blight Cursed Commander deck, so this Hour of Devastation copy slides down again this week. It was number 12 on the hot list last week. This week it joins the cold list at number 2, Plunge into Darkness, down 240 to 759, that's a 24% decrease. This one print wonder was hot last week because of its role in the modern Cosmogoyf Death Shadow builds. This week, though, sellers flooded the market with copies of Plunge into Darkness in order to take advantage of the higher price point. The extra inventory has led to some retraction. Last week, this was number 5 on the hot list. This week, it reaches number 1 on the cold list, Tangle Wire from Nemesis, down 1446 to 4148, that's a 26% decrease. 1v1 Dual Commander and the pre-modern format have been pushing the price of this card up recently. Much like the previous card though, many more copies went up for sale after last week's spike, so Tangle Wire is retracting some this week. Now it's time for part 1 of the top 30 hottest cards of the week. In this part, we'll be looking at cards numbered 30 through 16, and remember to return tomorrow for numbers 15 through 1. Let's jump in with number 30, Nature's Rhythm, up 215 to 895, that's a 32% increase. This has recently seen some increased commander play and builds around Toph Hard-Headed Teacher from the Avatar The Last Airbender set, and occasionally Nature's Rhythm appears in Legacy Shunned, but the standard Ouroboros decks are the key driver for the price increase you see here. Simic Ouroboros is by far the most popular build, but you also see Nature's Rhythm in other variations, including Temur, Golgari, Abzan, Sultai, 4-Color, and Gruul. Coming in at number 29, Cavalier of Dawn. This is the one from Core Set 2020. It's up 268 to 645. That's a 71% increase. This has been seeing some increased commander play recently and builds around Anti-Venom Horrifying Healer from Marvel Spider-Man. Now though, it's Lorwyn Eclipse that's causing Cavalier of Dawn's price to go up. Many players are grabbing copies in order to upgrade the upcoming Dance of the Elements commander deck, while others are adding Cavalier of Dawn to fresh deck lists around the front face of commander from there. Ashling, the Limitless. Number 28, Corrosive Mentor. This is up 272 to 692. That's a 65% increase. It is a Shadow War uncommon that is yet to be reprinted, so I might as well get my one per video out of the way early. You may know that during this time period in Magic, there was a recession in the game, and less packs of Shadow War as well as some other sets were cracked. Due to the lower supply, some of these cards that haven't been reprinted tend to spike when there's some attention on them. So why are people paying attention to this now? Well, it has been found in commander builds around Massacre Girl, Known Killer, and those are getting a boost now thanks to all the support for -1/-1 counter strategies coming in Lorwyn Eclipse products. I'm also seeing some players grabbing Corrosive Mentor as an upgrade to the upcoming Lorwyn Eclipse Blight Curse commander deck. Others are putting it in fresh commander deck lists around a couple cards from there. The front-facing commander, Anti-Ul Curse Wretch, as well as the Reaper King No More. Now, to be honest, I'm not seeing Corrosive Mentor appearing in these early deck lists as much as lots of other cards, but its relative scarcity is pushing the price hard, even with the smaller amount of demand. Number 27 is Atomize, up 289 to 788. That's a 58% increase. This is from the Fallout Mutant Menace commander deck. It currently sees play in several commander builds, like the ones around the Wise Mothman from its precon, for example, but you know why this is moving up now. Proliferate will work really well with the abundance of cards that make -1/-1 counters that are coming in Lorwyn Eclipse. I'm seeing Atomize in early commander deck lists around High Perfect Morcant from the main set, plus many want Atomize to upgrade the Blight Curse commander deck, while others want it for their fresh builds around Anti-Ul Curse Wretch and the Reaper King No More from there. Atomize is a good answer to Malira's Sylvok Outcast if your opponent plays that creature against your -1/-1 counter build. More on that card in a bit. Number 26, Varchild, Betrayer of Keldor, up 289 to 970. That's a 42% increase. This is the copy from the Commander 2018 Exquisite Invention deck. First, this has seen increased commander play recently around Kratos God of War from the Sony God of War Greek Secret Lair, but there is another reason Varchild, Betrayer of Keldor is moving up. Some are speculating on this card because of all the creatures with the changeling mechanic coming in Lorwyn Eclipse. Varchild could really hose decks with lots of creatures with changeling, sure, but it remains to be seen how much additional play the card will get just to counter that mechanic. Number 25, Cavalier of Flame. This is the Core Set 2020 copy. It goes up 297 to 596. That's a 99% increase. You see this in Omnith Locus of all commander decks sometimes, but Cavalier of Flame is hot now because of, well, you guessed it, Lorwyn Eclipse. Some players are getting it to upgrade the upcoming Dance of the Elements commander deck, while others want to put Cavalier of Flame in fresh builds around Ashling the Limitless from there. Number 24, Equipoise, up 377 to 670. That's a 129% increase. It must be 2021 because this is a good old-fashioned reserve list buyout. Someone bought up a bunch of copies, and when they sell them back to the market, the price will go back down. Number 23, Malira Sylvok Outcast, up 399 to 795. That's a 101% increase. This One Per Wonder is moving up because of the way it interacts with -1/-1 counters. Lots of people will be playing the new Lorwyn Eclipse Blight Curse commander deck soon. Plus, there are lots of cards from the main set that weaponize -1/-1 counters. I am currently seeing some players grabbing copies of Malira as an answer to these -1/-1 counter strategies. Also, you can build your -1/-1 counter deck in such a way that Malira could work in your favor. There are plenty of creatures that come into play with these counters and cards with abilities that give counters reciprocally. If you utilize those types of cards, Malira could be good in your deck. In fact, I'm already seeing players putting copies of this in commander deck lists around Anti-Ul Curse Wretch from the Blight Curse commander deck. Now, Malira Sylvok Outcast will prevent you from activating the Blight mechanic while you have it in play, and maybe some don't realize that, but there are plenty of cards that will make sense with it in the right build. Number 22, Phyrexian Furnace. The one from the list is up 232 to 697. That is a 50% increase. The one from Weatherlight is up 425 to 1285. That's a 49% increase. This sees a little 1v1 dual commander play sometimes in builds around Magda the Horde Master, for example, but the key driver here is the pre-modern format. Phyrexian Furnace has appeared in multiple decks, usually in the sideboard, but occasionally it's in the main. Some popular ones that play the card include Azorius Standstill, Gruul Land Destruction, Selesnya Terrageddon, Welder Tinker, and sometimes Mono Black Midrange, as well as Azorius Control. Pre-Modern has become a big driver for card prices recently due to all the attention it has been getting. The format has been available on Magic Online for a little while now, and the professor at Tellurian Community College even made a video about the format a week ago. Definitely keep an eye on these key pre-modern cards. Number 21, Generous Patron. The Battle Bond copy is up 406 to 539. That is a 305% increase. The copy from the Final Fantasy Counter Blitz Commander deck is up 453 to 499. That's a 985% increase. This is found in a few commander decks, like the ones around Tidus Yuna's Guardian from its precon, for example, but clearly this is moving up now because of all the cards that allow you to put -1/-1 counters on opponents' creatures coming in lore when eclipsed. Since this is an elf, I'm seeing many players putting it in early commander deck lists around High Perfect Moorcamp from the main set, plus many want Generous Patron to upgrade the Blight Curse commander deck, while others are planning on putting it in fresh builds around Anti-Ul Curse Wretch from there. Quickly before we get to number 20, just a fast reminder, this video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now you can pre-order Lorwyn Eclipse products there. They also have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles products open for pre-order. Plus they have a whole lot of other things on their website, both Magic related and otherwise. Remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the US. And if you're looking for a direct link to their site, just check out the description or comment section below. I do have links posted in both of those places. And now, without any further ado, let's continue the countdown. Number 20 is Teferi's Response. Up 465 to 1965, that's a 31% increase. The Invasion printing of this is the only tournament legal copy, so it's an older card that is pretty dry in the secondary market. It has become a useful sideboard card in the pre-modern format that can protect key lands. For example, this is played in Azorius Standstill, which controls the battlefield with Parallax Tide, as well as several other cards. Then it wins with creature lands like Mishra's Factory and Fairy Conclave. 19 is Quill Spike, up 532 to 631. That's a 537% increase. This is an Eventide uncommon that is yet to be reprinted. Since I already used my one per video, I'll spare you the whole spiel, but just be aware of that. Many thought this could see a reprint in the Lorwyn Eclipse Blight Curse commander deck, but that didn't happen, and now many players are trying to get it to upgrade the upcoming build. This does go infinite with Devoted Druid, which was reprinted there. I'm also seeing some players putting Quill Spike in fresh commander deck lists around Anti-Ul Curse Wretch from Blight Curse. Number 18 is Willow Priestess, up 548 to 848. That's a 183% increase. This reserve list card from Homelands is spiking now because of the support for fairies and the creatures with Changeling coming in Lorwyn Eclipse. Some are picking this up for commander builds around a card from the Lorwyn Eclipse main set. That's Marlin Fey Ascendant. Be careful though. Yes, Willow Priestess is an old reserve list card, but there are a lot of Homelands cards sitting in bulk boxes just waiting for a moment like this. I expect to see a lot of copies of Willow Priestess hitting the marketplace soon. Number 17, Malleable Impostor, up 646 to 1813. That's a 55% increase. This is from the Wilds of Eldraine Fey Dominion commander deck. You would typically see it in commander builds around Alila Cunning Conqueror from its precon, but recently it saw additional play in the format in decks around Firelord Azula from Avatar The Last Airbender. Now Lorwyn Eclipse is pushing Malleable Impostor's price as well. As we discussed, the set is bringing us more support for fairies and several creatures with Changeling. In fact, Malleable Impostor is already showing up in commander deck lists around Marlin Fey Ascendant. Coming in at number 16 is Rumbleweed, up 657 to 749. That's a 714% increase. This is from the Outlaws of Thunder Junction Desert Bloom commander deck, and it does appear in a few commander builds, like the ones around Yuma Proud Protector from its precon, for example. However, Rumbleweed is an elemental, so you know the story here. Many players want this to upgrade the upcoming Lorwyn Eclipse Dance of the Elements commander deck, while others want it in their fresh builds around Ashling the Limitless from there. Rumbleweed could become a strong finisher for those builds. Alright, that's going to do it for part 1 of this 2-part episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. We're going to come back tomorrow, and you're not going to want to miss it. We're going to see the top 15 hottest cards of the week. Until next time though, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.